The higher connection should be celebrated like a church service. It is the only pleasure that an immortal has on earth. Let the possibility of approaching the Lords of Light become our daily joy. Verily, this possibility is within ourselves, and we alone can hasten its realization. Do not hesitate to fully enjoy the feast of this moment. Arrange the place worthily with fresh air, fine fragrances, candles or flowers. Look forward joyfully in advance to this hour of contemplation. Shape your day in such a way, make absolutely sure that before the appointed time, nothing can touch you which would interfere with the conversation. For example, overeating or excitement. The holiday of the yogi is communion with the higher forces. You may savor the beauty of the hour. What a relief to return to the sanctuary and to be able to leave the dirt of the world behind. What a joy to join again the auras of your master, brothers and sisters, together with whom you are toiling for centuries, if not millennia, for the great work. May these be the best moments of your day, which you spend in the temple at the feet of the teacher. Allow nobody and nothing to spoil this hour of happiness. A spiritually minded person needs pleasures too. He only seeks higher ones than the man of the world. He who thinks that asceticism is self-torture is wrong. Applied correctly, it is only a purposeful renunciation of lower physical pleasures with the aim to attain higher spiritual ones. Earthly joys leave us, but much higher and deeper joys come to take their place. Earthly happiness is replaced by the realization of the wisdom of a higher happiness, which comes to the disciple only in rare glimpses. A solemn atmosphere allows your soul to flourish. Solemnity is nourishment for the heart. It creates a connection to the higher world. Solemnity is the best bridge to us. Our help reaches people most easily through the channel of solemnity. Preserve solemnity. Surround yourself with solemnity. A mood of solemnity will be the best guide to the brotherhood. A sublime state of mind allows the inflow of higher, helping energies. Man was striving to create a particularly exalted state of mind, promoting the reception of higher energies. The attraction of fiery energies from space has as its basis every exalted feeling. Let us now carry out such a meditation together. The Agni Yoga meditation, which we are practicing daily in Tbilisi, consists of 7 different steps, each of which is accompanied by a body position of its own. Overall, the higher connection takes about an hour. The first pose is a well-known yoga position. You are performing here at the same time a physical exercise by trying to pull the knees more and more to the ground. This phase serves to prepare you for the conversation. You become aware that you will meet a highly placed person in the next few minutes. Even in your earthly life, if you are going to have, for example, an audience with a king, you would make a special effort to concentrate for the event. You need to be up to the dignity of the moment. You want to create the best possible impression. You want to use the short time allowed to you to put forward the concerns that you have and to obtain answers to your questions. At this first step, you carry out the purification of your thoughts, already discussed. You bring your transient earthly personality to rest and put yourself in a solemn mood. Now is the hour for the life of your eternal individuality, the soul. It returns to its homeland, the world beyond. On the way upwards, you must not allow any worldly matters to tie it down to earth. This detachment from the material plane is of paramount importance. Many meditations, especially by beginners, remain fruitless brooding because, ultimately, only the intellect remains concerned with the worldly issues of everyday life. At the second step, you prostrate and build up the connection. First, you address the higher powers and recite, of course, in spirit, 7 times, Moria Maitreya. Herewith you express your willingness to integrate yourself into the hierarchy and to subject yourself to the higher, the divine will. You profess to be one of those who recognize the Mahatma as the ruler of the earth and promise to obey him. Next, you turn to your personal teacher and recite once again 7 times in spirit, Master, I love you. Neither concentration nor command of the will, but love for hierarchy produces direct communion. And what can more strongly unify than the mantra, I love thee, O Lord? In such a call, it is easy to receive a ray of cognition. Thus you strengthen your desire not only to submit your actions to the higher will, but also to build up a real personal relationship to your teacher. which is possible through love only. Urusvati, Helena Röhrig, loves communion with us. It cannot be ordered. It cannot be intellectually evoked. Only the power of love can bring it into life. At the third step, we rise a little on all fours. Now we go to the teacher. That means we visit him in spirit, in his ashram. We actually carry out a flight of our spiritual being, which is not bound to the limitations of matter, time and space, into the spiritual world, to the place where the non-incarnated teacher lives, to the Himalayas, to Shambhala, hardly to the stronghold itself, but to that outpost which is accessible to us. The soul, our eternal individuality, detaches itself, like at death, from the body, which remains down below in the material world. Let us start our journey in Munich. We turn south and cross the Alps. We fly along the Italian Adriatic coast and the boot heel of Italy, past Sicily, and cross the Mediterranean Sea until we reach the African coast. There we continue to the east, always along the shoreline. We recognize the delta of the Nile, after which we turn south, following the Suez Canal. On the left we see the Sinai Peninsula, before we fly over the Red Sea and circumnavigate the Arabian Peninsula, where there are the mountains with the beautiful name Hadramaut. We cross the Strait of Hormuz and fly further east along the coastline of the Indian Ocean. Where the Indian subcontinent turns south, we go overland to the northeast, to the Himalayas. We pass Simla, the old summer residence of the British viceroys, with its Victorian-style houses, then the small town of Nagar, and finally reach the Kulu Valley, where Helena and Nicholas Röhrig spent the last 20 years of their lives, near the Mahatmas. From here on, we have to rely on our intuition. We fly further uphill. We meet an envoy of Shambhala on his way down to the people, which shows us that we are on the right track upwards. We have a vision of Krishna in the Kulu Valley, so we get closer to the gods. We pass the last human settlements and climb the highest peak at the end of the valley. What do we see from there? The sacred Mount Kanchenjunga, this symbol of purity and power. What do we see next? The 7 peaks of Shambhala. We raise into the air to search from above for our ashram. There it is. We touch down in its vicinity. The last few meters we have to walk on foot. Finally, you reach the destination of your flight, your home, the ashram of your teacher. From here you come to earth. There you wish to return after the death of the body. Remember, you can only be admitted if you are worthy to enter this holy place. That means especially in the last few hours or days that you have spent down in the world since your last stay above here. You must have conducted yourself as a well-mannered member of this exquisite community. You speak thus. Master, your faithful servant is at the gate. I ask to be let in. Now comes the great moment for which you have worked all the time in the world. Will the gates open or not? You see how everything comes down to this very moment. You realize how crucial it is for you in the world to be constantly aware. You must behave down there in such a way that you find the gates open upon your return above here. We are now entering the ashram. Imagine how it looks like in there. Like this. Or like this. Or like this.